Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Please comment, like, and subscribe. So we've got a little bit more of the live, and on this one I'm just trying to break it up for you guys so it's a little bit more digestible, maybe. Is that a good way to put it? But in this one we have got, of course, we've got that woman that I posted last night. The person that is just a know-it-all. And that's all you can say about her. I don't know. I feel something's weird about her. I don't know what it is, but something's really strange about that lady. But in this one, they're trying to poke holes in the whole G-tube kind of thing and the supplies that Didi would have delivered. So guys, let's listen to this. We'll come on back, tie it up in a pink bow, send it out into the atmosphere.
I don't know. It's like knowing, because you know how you always told me that it's nothing you and your mom ever talked about. It's just what was. It's like knowing that your mom knows that. That's the point that I don't understand. I can't comprehend how others can't comprehend, like how just fucked up that is. Like knowing that your daughter can physically walk and know that she can just get up and get there, but you still are like, well, you got to get in the chair. And instead, people would rather say, oh, she was in on it with her. Like, no, nobody just wants to do that. Nobody just wants to do that. You do it because it's what you know. And yeah, that should have been a red flag, obviously, because your mom. I mean, it's very unlikely that. I'm not saying that nobody that is the height of your mom and the size of your mom couldn't lift, but I mean, it would be not likely that they're able to do that on their own, like Kelsey was saying. And so that is but that's probably one of the things that she got a lot of it. Like, oh my God, you're such a great, you do this all right. That was something that people praised her for, doing it all on her own, if that makes sense, you know?
I think there was a clip, she was able to pick me up for a short period. There's a clip of it in one of the documentaries.
Yeah, she's putting you on that hammock, I think,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was able to, just probably not for a really long period. Whereas, I mean, obviously, Kelsey, y'all have to physically, in the hammock. Also, often kids that are wheelchair prescribed in home. Wait, also, often kids that are wheelchair users are prescribed in home. Physical therapy. Did you go to physical therapy, Gypsy?
No.
Never?
Never.
My mom had PT and OT since she was 3 months old in the home. They come to the house.
No, I never had physical therapy at home or anywhere else. Now, I'd go to going back to your point, Kelsey, about getting a new wheelchair, I would have to go to the clinic that is the physical therapy clinic to get measured for the new chair. But I never had therapy or anything like that.
Another form of therapy that you should have had, well, I guess is a red flag that you didn't have. When you have a G-tube, they definitely put you on a period of time after the G-tube placement with speech therapists because they try to help you to eat by mouth.
I don't recall having that either.
And I remember in her documents it's saying something about setting up, having to get an appointment with therapists, but I don't ever see documents of her actually going to anything. There was no follow-up. That I know of. I could be wrong. But.
Gypsy, did your formula get delivered to the door by, I think I've asked this before, straight to the door, or?
Yes, it was home delivered. The oxygen was home delivered. The diapers were home delivered. The formula was home delivered. And I think the tubes and stuff like that, the bags and stuff.
Well, Kenzie,
was there any month ever that you can remember that your mom did not order or ask for your G-tube supplies?
No, she was always very good about keeping up with supplies.
the diapers were for Didi. Do you not see the size difference?
See, that's what I was going to say.
The real Kenzie. The real Kenzie, would you do that? You said she was probably just acting. Do you do that? Is that normal for you to do? Do you act I didn't know that was normal. So, okay. Anyways, go ahead.
I got a motorcycle going by. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to think of all the questions. I'm not trying to make it about what I know medical field now versus the difference then. Is a red flag should have been no special tomato, no pea pod chair in the house. My daughter has a special tomato and she's grown from size 2 to size 5 is the highest. I'm already trying to request for, mind you, she's had it for 3 years and it's the biggest size it goes to. So adults can sit in this chair too. I'm trying to get a pea pod so I can get her a different chair to sit in. You know what I mean?
Okay, what's the past as mentally delayed as a child? What do you mean, Becky? I mean, doctors noted all throughout Gypsy's medical records that although the mom says she has a cognitive delay or that she's very her vocabulary is very well, all the doctors always noted that although mother says this, she seems, I can't think of the exact words, but they were actually very impressed by how smart Gypsy was.
That is also why Gypsy was such a huge face for the special needs community back in the day. I mean, you need to think about it. 90% of these kids were nonverbal. 90%. You can't tell Gypsy, when you went to these events, Were a lot of those kids talking? Like, it's not kids who are sick with cancer, but kids who were born this way. Were those kids talking?
No, a lot of them were nonverbal, like you said.
Thank you. That's why you were the pitcher. Like, that's a huge deal to be able to wake up from surgeries like you've had and be able to say, this surgery felt this way. I'm in pain. Like, that's not normal. Like, I don't, like, I have to figure out, if my daughter is sick, I have to figure out what is bothering her. Like, say, give an example. If she has bubbles coming out of her mouth at all, hurts. I
So
figured
guys, it's so funny that they want to talk about her having that test. But Gypsy doesn't correct these people about her being admitted into a feeding hospital, which that is a feeding program that she went through. What happens? I looked that up. What happens in a feeding hospital when you're admitted? So what happens when you go into a feeding hospital the way Gypsy did for a month? What happens is they get comprehensive evaluations. Clinicians review the child's medical history and observe them during meals. They observe them. They also have specialized tests, which may be used as swallow studies, an endoscope, or manometry to assess swallowing safety. Feeding therapies are done. For this whole month she was there, feeding therapy was done. Children practice safe swallowing strategies because we already know she had trouble with swallowing because she has that high palate. And also, if you remember, that frenulum that she did not have underneath her tongue. So she couldn't control her tongue to help swallow. Remember that, guys. Also, in that feeding hospital, there would be dietitians that adjust the food textures. Because whenever you have a hard time swallowing, remember the tongue, remember the high palate. So you had to have dietitians that adjusted the food texture to help her eat. Also help with the caloric intake. Because if you remember, she was failure to thrive. Also there, therapists which help reduce food aversions because she did have food aversions. She had anxiety because she couldn't swallow. She was having trouble swallowing. Now, at this month-long time that she was in the hospital, her mom was not always there. Gypsy was there by herself. And it just makes you wonder. Isn't it funny how all these people, especially that one woman, I don't know what she's on there for. I don't know if she wants people to feel sorry for her or what it is. But all she's doing is just praising at Gypsy's story without knowing the whole truth. Because Gypsy is not telling the whole truth. And it's sad that they don't understand that Gypsy did go to this feeding hospital before this feeding tube and during. There was doctors that were observing her. There was things done before she had this feeding tube put in. So it just blows my mind that she's got these people that are just blind following her, believing everything that she's saying. Guys, tell me what you think. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.